It is the reigning Bellator champion. I guess we could say the final Bellator champion with an amazing record of 20-1. But this week, he's just a corner man, right? It's Patchy Mix, your fiance Tatiana Suarez, about to fight for a title. We got a lot to talk about with your career, but I do want to start with Tatiana's career. You're in Australia right now. It's fight week. What's it like for you, man?
It's exciting, it's crazy. I feel Tatiana, I really feel she's the best in the world, and so much resilience. She's had just a long time coming to get this opportunity to be the world champion. So with all of her adversity she's went through, it's amazing to see her finally here. And on Sunday here in Australia, there's no doubt in my mind she will, as long as she gives her valiant effort 100%, I feel like she will dominate this fight and finish Weili Zhang.
I love it, man. What a way to say it. So you said it, right? You guys fight. She's fighting on Sunday morning. You'll be there in the corner. But I guess I just want to know what the approach was, right? Like, obviously, it's a long trip to get to Australia. It's a weird timing because it's the normal time, but only if you stay on Las Vegas time. So what did you guys do to kind of accommodate for everything?
Well, Tatiana changed her sleep even before we got here. Like, she was going to bed at different times to try to get adjusted. And then we came 2 weeks early. So we've been actually here since like the 26th, I think, or the 27th. So we've been here for, 2 weeks we're going to be prior to the fight. And it'll be easy, I think, for her just to adjust now to that time. We're waking up like just normal, like we live here, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I think the weird thing is her performing at in the daytime, because when we watch fights, it's normally on Saturday night or in Vegas, maybe like 4 to like main event maybe start 7 p.m. or something.
Right.
But here it's a total different perspective, because I believe she'll be fighting. It's like an early card,
Right.
Yeah.
It is interesting. What do you think of Zhang Weili, man? Obviously, I know you're not going to, I'm not asking you to give away any game plan, and I don't know how solid your belief is in your fiance, but Zhang Weili, phenomenal fighter, right? Great heart, seems to get, building her athleticism, her grappling. So what do you see when you break her down?
I think she's one of the best female fighters to ever do it. Pound for pound on that list is, she's a special, talented fighter, and I believe Tatiana matches up extremely well with her. I think Weili likes to, in all of her fights, she hits the ground, she hits the clinch, and my fiance is not someone you want to be in those positions with. And even I'm talking like I can grapple Tatiana, and I'm probably the best grappler at bantamweight, 135 pounds as a man in the world in MMA right now. And Tatiana's like, she can grapple with me, so like she's a handful. And I never see her. I've never seen her not be able to dominate a female in the room. So, I mean, normally she has to like kind of go with like even professional men's flyweights or even 35-pounders, and especially in grappling, because she needs to be tested. But I think going back to Weili, I think she's a superstar. I think she's very, very, very talented, one of the best to ever do it. And I think because she's so good, Tatiana will rise to the occasion even more, because she will match, like she will want to dominate her even more, because she's so talented, she's so good, and she's so decorated as a champion. So what we're looking at it as is an opportunity for the whole world to see just how dominant Tatiana Suarez is.
That's awesome, man. I love sharing it. Shane Sparks, who I work with on CFFC Match Day, he once told me about Tatiana. He said, that is the best female wrestler I've ever seen in my life. And that dude lives and breathes wrestling, and he had the highest of praise for her. And she just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah, had she not got thyroid cancer, I believe she could have even won a gold medal in the Olympics. She is a very talented and highly decorated wrestler. But there's my coach there. But she also is she's a hybrid. It's not just her wrestling anymore. She's so good at mixing wrestling with her grappling. And she's a very high-level black belt in grappling. So when you mix that with her wrestling pedigree, plus knowing how to advance position, control position, and finish in all positions, she doesn't have one choke or one armbar or one, let's say, submission. She has an array of them, 10, 15, 20 of them that she can catch on any day, and she catches them, on every day she's training, multiple days a week. So I trust You know, I trust Tatiana just as much as I trust myself when I go out there, you know. I mean, probably even more. I'm even more confident in her, you know.
I was going to say, what's fight week like for you? It's the weirdest thing in fighting, right? Because if it was your own fight week, yeah, you're going to have the nerves. Yeah, you're going to have the anticipation. But you see it over and over. It's when it's a loved one, when it's somebody you care about, like the nerves are even higher because, like, you can't go do anything in the cage, right? So what's this week like for you?
Well, I'm nervous that she just is happy with her performance. You know, she's so, what's the word? She analyzes herself so much and her game so much that she, you know, even if she dominates a round in the gym and, let's say she controls for 4 minutes and 45 seconds, Tatiana's the type that wants to control for 5 minutes and that'll keep her up at night. So I just want her to be able to go perform to her best ability and like her full potential. And I feel if she does that, you know, the world will know what we know. She's a superstar and she moves differently than other people. So, you know, that's my expectation of it. And that's what I really hope for. But when it comes to like fighting, and that's like, I'm not nervous that I'm more nervous for her opponent when she goes out there. You know what I mean? Because, you know, they're fighting. Why would I be nervous for my fiance? I have the utmost confidence in her. So I'm nervous for her opponent because of all the things that she's capable of doing. And we're not wearing like, you know, we're not in the gym where we're wearing elbow pads, knee pads, shin pads. Like, you know, she gets you down and she puts an elbow on you and you don't have an answer to get back up. You know, that could be career changing. So, you know, I really, really have a lot of confidence in her, and I just get nervous that she performs to her full potential so that she's happy with the performance that she gives, you know.
I love it. Well, I'm looking forward to this fight. I mean, I thought she's looked like championship material for a very long time. It's taken her longer to get here than we thought because of the injuries, but I'm like you. I'm excited for this weekend. So now let's talk about you, right? Because with all the great things that are happening with your family right now, there's some things that maybe aren't so great. And you finally came out this week and said, hey, PFL, just do me a favor, man. Let me go. Let me go do what's best for me. I got to imagine that wasn't an easy decision for you to make, to go public like that and to post that.
No,
so
not at all.
Talk to me about your thought process. Like, what got you to the point where you said, man, I just got to go public with this. I got to put this out there.
Well, I've fought one time in the last 14 months. You know, that's the problem that I have. I'm not active. And Patchy Mix, my whole career, 11 years between 32 fights I have, I've always stayed consistently active, and that's part of my life. It's part of my existence, more importantly than my life. So I need to be active. And now coming out on social media, you know, I fought last May. That's the only fight I've had in all of 2024. And, you know, building off the momentum I had, knocking Rufián Stotts out, submitting Sergio Pettis, you know, putting me, you know, I feel truly in my heart that I'm the best bantamweight in the world. And I know that I am because of my accolades. I know that I am because I've trained with the people that are considered the best in the world. So it's like, it's very hard for me to be like unactive and be sitting on the shelf while being healthy. So now I've put in 2 training camps, one for the Paris, the Champion Series in Paris, and then I put another training camp together for the Dubai card. Both fights canceled, and that's 20 weeks of me training, you know, 20 weeks of me flying my coaches in, 20 weeks of me, you know, I spar 2 times a week, you know, I'm getting hit in my brain. I'm doing like 40 rounds, 50 rounds grappling a week, you know. I just trained for an entire year of 2024 and just had 2 fights canceled where I prepared, put in full training camps on my body and prepared. As far as I'm concerned, I was going to wipe through these 2 fights and I would be, you know, I'd be over $1 million richer. You know, I'd have, you know, this is, it's an important feat in my life, you know, and to have them canceled now, to be sitting for, I'm almost been sitting for 10 months with I don't know when I'm going to fight. I know Ali's supposed to have a talk with Don maybe later in the week, and we maybe could come to something, but, you know, I'm not sure You know, I'm not sure. And sitting for 10 months with no fight in sight, you know, God forbid it's over a year, you know, and I'm healthy. So every time I'm risking, you know, like my next fight, I could be risking an injury as I just sat out for almost a year. And I just, I can't accept that. I can't respect that. And being the best in the world and seeing these other bantamweights flourishing, it's just mind-boggling to me because, like, I'm 20-1 with 15 finishes. I'm 5 years undefeated. I finished 13 of my last 15 opponents in the last 7 years. I'm the most dangerous bantamweight in the entire world, and I should be fighting. And I should be fighting the best fighters in the world too. You know, I want to. That's why when I say this, if they're not going to keep me active, then release me. And if you release me, I will go on a tour of finishing everybody I will go on a tour of finishing all the guys that people deem as the best, because I've not only been the best this last year, I've been the best for like 2-3 years now. Like, I've been beating everybody. Anyone that comes into Extreme Couture can attest that I am the most dangerous bantamweight, and there is not a bantamweight out there that even can remotely fuck with me. So when I see it like that, it's like, you know, I'm out to prove that I'm the best. And if they're not going to keep me active, if they're not going to give me names, big fights, you know, I've already wiped out the entire division, you know. Like, Marab's in the UFC, and he wiped out his whole division. If you look at the Bellator top 5 or 6, not only did I wipe them out, I finished them all. And I put a bunch of them to sleep, too. So it's like, you know, I need to fight. And I need to get paid. You know, I need to stay consistent, and I need to get paid. And in order to get paid in this sport, we are prize fighters. I need to fight. And that's my main goal, my main thing. To even be asking for that, I feel is kind of, you know, a little different, being that I'm a prize, you know. I've fought for Bellator for 5 years, and I literally have never had a problem with staying consistent. Scott Coker was always straightforward, honest. I always knew what my direction and my path would be next. And that's what I'm trying to figure out. And sitting in a limbo as a world champion, like we've seen, they dissolved Bellator. So exactly, I'm a world champion of what?
Right.
You know, I sacrificed a lot in order to get that title. I knocked out 19-1 Rufian Stotts, who doesn't get credit for being one of the best fighters in the world. I knocked him out in over a minute, out cold, you know, to win that belt. I submitted Sergio Pettis without barely getting touched after he just dominated Patricio Pitbull for 5 rounds. You know, I don't think I'm just one of the best guys in bantamweight. I feel like I'm one of the best guys in the whole promotion that they have. I feel like I'm one of the best guys in the entire world, not just bantamweight, pound for pound. Because of my accolades, because of the way that I train, and because of my skill set. Not because I just think this, you know. Look at these other guys that have ever gotten to the record of 20-1. There's not many. And I'm only 1 round removed from a perfect 21-0, and the story would be different. So for me, you know, I feel like if they can't keep me active, then release me. And like I said, I'll be champion in 365 days.
I love it. Well, listen, you said it. I mean, you're absolutely one of the best fighters in the organization. You're one of the biggest names that they were able to bring in when they, you know, acquired Bellator. So with that in mind, I mean, has there been any discussion? Has there been any talk? Because I guess that's the thing that's kind of confusing sometimes is, are they not staying in touch and saying, hey, man, we're sorry, this is what happened? Has there been any of that?
To be honest with you, I know Ali has a talk with them later, but really, man, I have not been able to get clear communication on what's next at all. I've been sitting here for about 9 or 10 months, and it's a long time now since my last fight. And there's not been much clear communication at all. You know, I've gotten, you know, I feel like I should have been compensated even for my 2 fights that were canceled. I feel like there needs to be, I'm a champion. I'm not just any champion. I'm a dominating, reigning world champion. And there's, you know, there has to be consistency, and there has to be communication. And, you know, when it comes to it, he's Don Davis says, like he's fighter first, or whatever that motto is. And I feel like, you have to stick to that motto and not ice me out, not. And if I'm going to get iced, I need to know what's going on next. And, Francis is a big supporter. He's of the PFL. He's from the same gym. I'm a diehard extreme couture there every single day, working my ass off, helping my training partners every day. And like to see me in a limbo and knowing how much I train, how hard I work, it's like I said, there's no fights for me. Let me go and just release me. And I'll fight the best fighters in the world.
Look, it's a fair request. I think anybody that knows your skills knows that you can absolutely compete with anybody in the world. Do you feel that it's just gone, like this can be repaired? I mean, it sounds like they're going to have a bantamweight tournament this year. I'm shocked if they haven't talked to you about it. I don't know. That's bizarre to me. No. I would think they'd want you in that field, but can this be repaired, or you feel like this has just gone too far?
Not to mention, okay, I'm a reigning world champion. You want a bantamweight tournament? They're going to do 3 fights in 5 months. You know what I mean? That, how much money they'd have to pay me, to defend my belt 3 times? I couldn't even I only got 1 fight last year. So I don't think that the intention is to put me in the tournament. You know what I mean? I feel like they're probably going to put all the other guys in the tournament and then crown a champion and have me wait or ice me out, And that's not till the end of the year. So, I'm not here to waste time so these other guys can make their name. I already made my name. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I already won the bantamweight tournament. I finished everyone and knocked everyone out. You know what I mean? I knocked Stotts out. I choked Magomedov completely unconscious. And I beat a former 2 promotion champion in Kyoji Horiguchi and dominated him. So I made my name from the tournament, They don't, and they're doing this tournament here. I mean, like I said, they don't plan to put me in it, because they already have, I feel like they've already been working on it. It's about to be dropped. I've had no talks with that at all. So it's, I don't know what's next. So,
Well, listen, man, I hate to see that you're in this position. I can sense the frustration that you're in, and I know you want some resolution. Are you hopeful that this conversation with Ali and Don are you hopeful that something gets done this week?
Yeah, I'm hopeful that they can come to some resolution. Whether that's, I don't know what that is, I'm not sure, even moving forward, I've been treated like this as a champion for the past however many months. It's very hard because, when I signed this contract, when I signed with this promotion, I signed with Bellator. And I had a great relationship with Bellator at a young age. I was only 24, 25 years old. I worked my way up to the world title. Unfortunately, I had a setback, losing a very close fight at a young age. And I came back and won that title in dominant fashion. And I signed with them, and they've always kept it transparent. I've always known what's next. And we were always cordial, respectful. And I feel as a man, that's how you should, that's how we should be, especially in this, MMA. It's a sport, but it's a dirty business too. So, I feel Scott Coker always kept it straight with me. I always knew what was next. And even moving forward, I'm not sure, it's empty promises a lot of the time, last year I was supposed to get 2 fights, all the champions on the Champion Series. I only got 1. Who's to say I'm going to get promised something? And then, I have too much at stake with my life. I'm raising my daughter in Las Vegas. Me and Tatiana are raising my daughter. My daughter has autism, so it's like I need to be present more with her, and I'm training so much, and I'm taking time away from my family because, I'm preparing for these fights that now have been canceled. So it's very frustrating, and, I'm not sure what the resolution is. I'm hoping that, Ali can come to something, or they can, but, I'm not sure what it will be.
Man, well, we will keep our fingers crossed because we're missing out on seeing you as fans. We want to see you compete because we know you want the best world, and I know you want to get those paychecks as well, man.
Yeah, and just think, bro, that same knee I put right through Rufian Stotts' chin for talking all that shit. So imagine me doing that again to 4 or 5 other people. You know what I mean? You know, I need to fight. So that's it, you know.
Fingers crossed we get some resolution, man. Listen, I know you're busy. You're having fun out there with your fiance. I know you're looking at Ann New on Sunday morning, Saturday night here in the States. How does it go? What do you think? Are we seeing domination? Is this a battle? Is she getting tested? What do we see?
I don't, you know, even if she's tested, even if it's a battle, I just fully believe that Tatiana will finish her. I think she will. I think she'll finish her. I don't know how it will go. I don't want to give up too much, but I get chills. I got goosebumps on my arms thinking about it. I really, truly believe Tatiana will finish her, and she will become the new UFC strawweight champion of the world.
I love it. Let's get a title fight in the house, and let's get a fight booked for you, and that'll make for a pretty damn good week.
Yeah, 100%. You know, I got 4 belts at home. She's gonna bring one. This is gonna be. We're just gonna keep adding them. I have 5, and then she's just gonna start collecting all these gems on her belt. You know.
I love it. Well, Patchy, enjoy the time in Australia. We'll be watching the fight for sure, and hopefully get some resolution real soon.
Always. Thank you, sir.